Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 51st edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live Call-In Show. From yours truly, Jackson Johnson, my partner in crime, Jeffrey to Only Talk Sports, as we go over our takes on the Crimson Tide with all of you as we take your calls as we hear your takes on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let me tell you something, folks. You're going to be in for a wild ride, as always, every Thursday night. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing great, Jackson. Just excited about the massive showdown we have coming up on Saturday night. I know that there's a bigger game on Saturday night between Oregon and Penn State, but Alabama, Georgia, for a lot of people, still the headline game. It's a huge matchup. Georgia fans are really confident that this is their year to knock off Alabama. Saban's gone, all that kind of stuff. The chatter's been there, but you know what? Alabama, we're still a good football team, and Georgia doesn't look as good as they've been the last couple of years. They seem a little down last year, this year. So we'll see. It's going to be a massive game. Georgia's favored by 2-3 points. So basically just the home spread. It's a 50-50 game, essentially, and when the world of the odds makers. So I'm excited about it. This game's going to go a long way in determining the outcome of our season, whether we're going to be a playoff team possibly, or, it's going to be a better year for DeBoer and for Georgia's season as well. It's a massive game, and I know a lot of people are excited about it.
There we go. And we've got YouTube memberships to share with all of you. YouTube membership tiers is getting close to Halloween, and we're getting close to Thanksgiving and Christmas, all that. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member, where you'll have loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and live chat, and you get custom emojis to use in the comments and the live chat, and you get member shoutouts. For $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban Disciple, where you'll have priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey on Talk Sports, and Coach Mook Hines. And for $9.99 a month, you can become a Bear Bryant legend, where you can connect on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind. Neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor the miserable rainy weather that happened yesterday will put a stop to us from fulfilling your content requests, all right here on Alabama the Voice of College Football. But that's not all. We got to look nice. What do we do? What do we do? We go to the merch store from the Voice of College Football, and we're out getting some Bama gear. Let's go. We've got it all. Let's go. We've got the dad hat. We've got the trucker hat, the t-shirt, the sweatshirt, the heavyweight t-shirt, the polo. Well, it's getting a little too cold to wear polo, good buddy. That hair's not going to be enough. So, no. But you got the can cooler, the tumbler, and the game day mug. And if there's anything else you want added to this merch store, email Mark Rogers at markrogers@gmail.com or voiceofcollegefootball@gmail.com. Like a Voice of College Football notebook for each team, which will keep all your secrets safe, especially your venting sessions, of course. And, the dog bowls. And, hey, maybe some Voice of College Football nail polish. Something for the ladies. We got to get a little something for everybody. But alrighty, we've got our first caller tonight, and he is a humongous contributor and an amazing caller, Alabama Richie. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing really well, you guys. I'm going to try to keep it brief as well because I know, Jackson, you just got off of work and such. Was telling Jackson before the show started, I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy named Danny Duncan, but I won his Tesla giveaway. So I'm a sole owner of a Tesla now. So I think that's pretty cool. I've gotten mixed reviews on driving the Tesla, but I'm going to keep the car. But anyways, having said that, I heard a lot of people give depictions on the game this weekend. A lot of people I've talked to and heard from have got Georgia favored. I think that on our standpoint, I said this on our pick and pull show yesterday and today. Neither side's going to win this game with the quarterback. You got to establish some sort of a running game. And I think that's the biggest factor that Bama's going to have to we're going to have to do this weekend is figure out who gets involved. Now, here's the thing, and I said this multiple times, and I got a quick story. We had a soccer team back when I was playing travel ball, and there was a guy that was our forward, really good, but he got hurt. And this other guy came in and he played just as well and helped out the team in good ways, was a leading scorer towards the end of the season. I think our factor is going to be having we know what Jam Miller's capable, or excuse me, Kevin Riley's capable of doing, but don't count the guy out. Everybody's going, oh yeah, Jam's coming back, but Kevin Riley has shown he can be in the mix in terms of showing he can run. So I like that. But what kind of Bama team's going to pull out on Saturday? Do you come out the same way you did against Florida State, or do you brush that off and play, oh, we're that dog that we talked about in the beginning of the season? Because I'll leave it at this, see your guys' thoughts. If you're going to be a dog from the beginning, you should have been a dog from the beginning, is how I kind of said it, and told folks today. I said, look, no matter what in the world you plan to do now, you should have been doing it from the off season. But this is going to be the game that puts us in question, because let's say for some reason we slip and lose, it's going to be wild the amount of calls people start giving the places and how crazy it is saying DeBoer's done, Ty's not the guy, all this other stuff. So that's my take. Curious your thoughts.
Well, I mean, I think that if Alabama is very competitive, like if it's a classic and we fall short, I think some people would forgive DeBoer there. It'd be less bad, obviously, if they hadn't lost to Florida State already, because people are going to know, hey, now we have 2 losses. We essentially are in the Clemson Notre Dame camp now, where we have to win out to make the playoffs. So yeah, people are going to be really upset. But I mean, if we get blown out like 40-10, oh my gosh, I mean it's DeBoer's like cooked. He's not gonna get fired, but the fans are gonna turn on him fully, and it's gonna be bad, and it's gonna be really hard to recover that. Would it be possible to? Yeah, but it would be bad. What I want to see is Alabama running the football well in the game. Yeah, that's not the only thing they can do in the game. They got great receivers. If Ty Simpson's confident, air it out. That's great. We know Georgia's secondary is a little sketchy, but if Alabama gets the lead, and I said this on the Monday show, if Alabama gets the lead and they're up by 7 to 10 points in the late third, early fourth quarter, that's when you've got to be able to run the ball to win. That's what we used to do at such a high level, is that we could just go on under Nick Saban, a 15-play, 90-yard drive late in the game that took 7-8 minutes of clock that would just destroy the game for the other team. It gave them absolutely no shot to win. And last year, the clock management from DeBoer was sketchy. There's tons of times that it looked like we could have just run the clock out on the opponent. We were throwing the football. I don't know if they were doing that because they didn't feel we had the run game to, get the first down. So they were throwing the ball, which is probably why. But still, it's like we got to reinsert our dominance on the ground, because that's what made Alabama such a dominant team under Nick Saban, was the fact that we were great defensively and we were great on the ground. And then toward the end, it kind of became more of a passing ordeal, because that's the way college football is trending. Yeah, we got to throw the ball a lot in the game, but we need to be able to run the ball, especially if we have the lead, to get out of, Georgia with a win, Sanford Stadium. That's what they got to do. You can't be throwing the football up 7 to 10 points in the fourth quarter. That's just my opinion. So it's going to be interesting. I think that we need to establish the run, and if we get a lead and late in the game, we need to run the ball. And Ty Simpson, he can make throws, but they don't need to put him in situations where it's third and long. So you run the ball, just say first down, you pick up 4, and then on second down you run, you get 4 or 5 yards, third and 1. Third and 1 is a lot easier than third and 9. So that's why running the ball is very important, because you put it all on Ty Simpson's shoulders, it's going to be bad.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I was going to mention as well is keep in mind, and those listening in, Kirby Smart is a very good coach for second half adjustments. So you got to start out fast. Georgia showed in Tennessee that they haven't started out fast. They didn't start out that fast against Austin P. In fact, I thought they actually were a bit terrible in that game, but the depth showed in the second half, and that's why Pay lost. And then Marshall, you lose the coach that went over to Southern Miss. It's a different change of pace. I call him the Tudor Biscuit guy. So Georgia didn't really show much there, but you blew them out. Now you go into a scenario where who's going to be the faster team in Sanford? Who starts out quick? Who does everything you need to do? And like I said in my TikTok pick and pull show, you're going to find out really, really soon because McCarron said it, AJ McCarron, I've said it. This is Ty's game to lose. This is on the show. I'm not saying it's on the shoulders of him, but it's Ty's job to lose. You want to see what kind of game plan does Ryan Grubb draw up. Because if he wants to be the guy that DeBoer's got a lot of faith in and DeBoer has faith in this guy, what's Grubb's game plan going to be? Because we saw Sheridan's game plan last year. We know what that looked like with him and DeBoer, and it worked out. But you're exactly right, Jackson. There were some question marks on, why were you throwing the ball? I agree with that. I think it's because we didn't have a true run game. And to me, Milroe was the run game. And they said it today. Milroe is a great athlete, but he's not the best quarterback. Is the difference. I thought Blake Sims was a good good athlete, but quarterback is a bit interesting, and I can attest to that. It's the only Bama quarterback I've seen live and in person was Blake Sims. So I'll leave it at that and say you're definitely going to want to see Ryan Grubb's game plan with DeBoer. What did they drum up? And what kind of run game, too. And it's a question mark for the boys, too. What have you done this week to prepare from the loss to Florida State? Because, you beat up ULM. You beat up Wisconsin. But now you're playing a defensive team that I've said this and I'll say it again. Don't know if you guys think about this. Georgia really hasn't had to worry too much about a quarterback. But, again, now you're starting to wonder because – Gunner's the kind of guy that's like he keeps to himself. Carson Beck was more outspoken and could throw through a car wash. Is the best term I heard all week from a couple guys I listened to. But realistically, this is going to be a major question mark for Georgia as well. Do they get Nate Frazier involved? Is Gunner Stockton able to do throws? Because I thought the first half of that Tennessee game they struggled a little bit. But what do I know? But I hope it's a good game for our guys.
That'll be amazing.
Pick it up.
I think what cracks me up is you listen to so many previews for games, and you'll hear people say the lines of scrimmage is what's going to be most important in this game. You could literally say that about every game. Literally, Georgia's lines of scrimmage are better than Marshall's. Alabama's lines of scrimmage are better than UL Monroe. You know what I'm saying? Every game, that is important. The skill positions matter. The quarterback matters. If your quarterback sucks, it doesn't matter how good your O-line is. A.K. Iowa. But, to me, with these big matchups, though, like Alabama-Georgia, that is when the lines of scrimmage is, the most important talked about thing where it actually matters. Because – Alabama would beat UL Monroe even if somehow the lines of scrimmage were similar. If somehow UL Monroe had as good of a line of scrimmage as Alabama, defensive line, offensive line, but they didn't have any good quarterback or skill position, and Alabama does, we would still beat them. So that's where the skill positions matter because you're better than that team everywhere, including the lines of scrimmage. But when you're playing a team like Georgia, where they've got the skill position players like we have, they got the great defenders like we have at all levels, even if they're not as good as they've been, including we're not as good as we've been. That's where the line of scrimmage is the most important because of the fact that if we play better than them on the offensive line, on the defensive line, you're gonna win. We will win. So, and that goes for them too. If they out-hustle us on the lines of scrimmage, they are going to win. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting because I've seen sketchy things from both teams. I don't think it's being said. It's being talked about more on our end because we already lost to Florida State.
Oh, yeah.
But Georgia has not. It's not been all roses for them. They should have lost.
Especially against.
They should have lost to Tennessee, but they didn't. So a win is a win. But They should not have won that game. They looked really bad against Austin Peay. So Georgia's got problems too. Both teams have issues. I'm not really confident in either team. I'm honestly just being honest. I don't like saying that about our squad. I think we can win. We've got the players. We've got the talent. I believe in DeBoer. But I'm not really super confident in either team right now. Because even though Georgia's undefeated, should have lost to Tennessee, haven't looked that good, and we got our problems. But and Wisconsin's bad. Like even though
they got smacked by Maryland.
Really bad. Like I was putting a little more stock in that win until we saw what Wisconsin did last week. I mean, that Maryland's not that good of a team, and they Mac truck Wisconsin in their place. So I don't know. We haven't really done anything. We've got great players. We've got great talent. I think our biggest edge, honestly, is that we've owned them. Maybe it's mental in Georgia's head. I don't know.
We're in their head a lot. Like they have not beaten us in Athens in quite a while. Georgia,
both of these things are true. Like Georgia has a Bama problem, but under DeBoer, we sucked on the road. Outside of LSU.
Oh, great.
Outside of LSU, we've been absolutely abysmal on the road. All those losses last year were on the road, so it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I look at both teams. I feel like we're better than Georgia at a lot of positions, but it's just whether we play up to that standard or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, before we get to we got to get to the super chat for Godfather AC giving out a $1.99 super sticker. How about that? We appreciate the Godfather ACC as he is a wonderful YouTube member of Alabama The Voice of College Football. And, if you want a really good shot of your comment getting read, it will be guaranteed to be read via super chat. So
yeah, and shout out to
I'll
Godfather.
read anything. I'll read anything. So don't worry there.
Shout out to Godfather too. He listens into my pick show, and the support, brother, is incredible. And I thank you so much. Got a solid guy for sure. My guy Godfather. But last comment before I wrap it up, so you guys can get on to. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I think it's a matter of. I really thought, and I said this. The Georgia Tennessee game was going to come down to better defense and quarterback, and you're exactly right, Jeffrey. I think Georgia struggled in that Tennessee game. It didn't help that Joey Aguilar threw 2 interceptions. Is the biggest thing. Now, a lot of people have gotten on to me and said, "Oh, the receiver slipped." Look, I still count that as an interception. And regardless, Georgia just found the right stops at the end. But you're right; they did not look that great. And Tennessee should have won. But hey, Georgia squeaked it out, and I still have faith in both teams. But we're going to have to make a statement Saturday. We really are, because going on the road is never easy. We saw what happened last year against Oklahoma and Norman, and on the road in Nashville against Vandy. So it's going to be very interesting. But I still say the same thing that you alluded to last week. My biggest fear is we get out of Sanford Stadium with a win and then we have trouble with Vandy, because that's the thing that people don't understand. Vandy is going to be undefeated after this weekend, and they'll be coming to Tuscaloosa. They play Utah State. There's no way that they're going to beat Utah State unless Diego Pavia plays absolutely horrendous ball, and I don't see that. So they'll be undefeated, and if we lose, that's just going to be crazy, because it's all going to come back full circle. Because I can understand, maybe it's a close game and we lose for some reason, but lose to Vanderbilt a second year in a row and see what the folks say. That's just a little bit of scary for me.
Well, it's like Ohio State with Michigan, like literally, and people say that the rivalry is the most important thing. Clearly not, because you lost to Michigan and you won the whole thing. So Ohio State fans are on cloud 9 because they won the title. Yeah, they lost to the rival. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, they don't like it, but they won a national title. I think that kind of trumps everything, right? Like they're very happy about that. Well, on our end, it's like I would rather lose on Saturday and then us win out, make the playoffs, than us beat Georgia but then lose to Vandy, lose to Missouri or Oklahoma or Auburn or whatever. That's just my opinion. I want to win tomorrow, but if we're going to turn back around and lose to Vanderbilt, it doesn't mean a thing.
Nope.
That's just a waste of time at that point. You might as well just lose 50-0 to Georgia and then just give maximum effort the rest of the season and go 10-2, because that's going to be a better outcome. That's why I kept saying last year, it's not that we went 9-3, it's how we went 9-3.
Yeah.
We had the LSU game, we had the Georgia game where we looked good, but then we had the South Carolina game and the Vandy game and the Oklahoma game and the Michigan game and the Tennessee game and all these crappy games. Even Auburn, it wasn't good. All these games where we look like crap, that outweighs that one or two good games that we played. And that's the same for this season. We beat Georgia and we're on cloud nine, but then lose to Vandy, it's gone. It's all history. It means nothing. So that's what I agree with you. I'm so worried about that because under DeBoer so far, it's still a small sample size, and people need to understand that. But the small sample size that we have is that after a big win, we choke under DeBoer. So we'll see. And people will say, hey, well, we only lost on the road, so it's Vandy at home. We should be fine. We almost lost to South Carolina at home last year. That should have been an L. Should have been an L, and somehow we did not lose that game. So we're not impenetrable at home. Yeah, we didn't lose at home last year, but so it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I just want to see growth from this team. If we win, I'm thrilled on Saturday, but keep it up the rest of the season. I mean, if they lose another game, they lose another game. But 10-2, if you beat Georgia, then you should not go worse than 10-2.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
If you go worse than 10-2, there's major question marks. But
Yeah.
it's the craziest thing too is I was chatting with someone today and they said, isn't it funny to know that the way you went 9-3 last year, those 3 losses, take away the Nico one, you lost the 2 scheme quarterbacks, and you even lost a third one because Thomas Castellanos it's really funny because FSU thinks they have one of the greatest teams right now. And after beating Bama, and it's funny because I said, your quarterback struggles with his arm. I said that's the biggest problem. And my folks said it. They were previewing, Auburn, and my pops calls me up and goes, "Didn't you guys lose to this guy last year at another school?" He couldn't remember, and I said, "Yeah, at Oklahoma." And he goes, "Yeah, he doesn't look that good throwing the ball." And I said, "That's my point. Is he's a scheme quarterback. He's one of them guys that can do great things scheming the ball. Hayes King, Thomas Castellanos, Diego Pavia, and Jackson Arnold. But have to actually throw the ball. You're a bit. So that's my biggest thing is, does it happen to us again? Because, that was my biggest hurt was, I told folks too, I said, look, we could get up to Norman and be trapped up. And then what are you going to say? And they didn't believe me. And now they're like, oh, Richie, we should have believed you. Oh, no, you didn't, because you were saying we beat them and we didn't, and we lost to a scheme quarterback. So it's the only thing.
It was different when we lost to Joe Burrow and that LSU team.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
different because that team was loaded and stacked, and Burrow was killing it, and that's understandable. But like you said, we're losing to gimmicky. I don't even know. That sounds a little unfair, but it kind of is fair. Gimmicky system quarterbacks. These guys, I like Haynes King. I really do.
Me too.
And I like Diego Pavia, but it's not unfair. I mean, they're not the greatest passers in the world. I mean, they rely more on the team, who they play for, and how they run their offense around them. It works, against most teams. But when you play a great team that's going to force you to throw, because, I mean, realistically, there's no way on planet Earth. I mean, under Nick Saban, I know people get sick of hearing under Nick Saban, but under Nick Saban, we never would have lost to Oklahoma or Vanderbilt last year. That would have never happened because they would have shut that crap down. I mean, I was appalled that Jackson Arnold ran all over us last year. That's sad. I mean, that's pathetic, and that should not happen this year. That should not happen. All you have to do is blitz the heck out of the dude, knock him into the ground a couple times. You're gonna win. It's it. It's literally all it takes. I mean, yeah, I guess Oklahoma, Bill Rowe was terrible, but still, it's like the pick sixes and everything. But still, we should have won. I mean. Oklahoma did nothing outside of Arnold. They just controlled the clock because they kept getting first downs because he kept running the ball. And it was the same play again and again and again. I don't know. It's just sad to see. Like, we can't let this type of stuff happen. I mean, we cannot be letting mediocre teams that have a good system win.
No.
A good system that works for them, but a good team snuffs that out and stops it. That's why you do film. That's why you're supposed to be in the room watching these teams like, hey, this is what they do. We're going to stop that. And we stop that, we broke them. They have no other options. They've got nothing else. That's how you win football games. You shut down what they're good at. I mean, literally everyone says all you have to do is make Jackson Arnold throw the ball. All you have to do is make Tommy Castellanos throw the ball. I mean, we did not force Florida State to throw the ball at all in that game.
Yeah.
They just ran, reverses, Gus Malzahn cooking it all up. It's great, but they weren't that good. They're not a national championship team at all in Florida State. They're not a contender in any way. They're a good team, but they're not that good.
As Sitz O was bringing up an excellent point that all we have to do is put a scare into the right side of Georgia's offensive line and make Gunner stop to run. We'll be all set. Like put Georgia in 3rd and long situations. We'll be good.
My biggest
Just
thing
don't
is
do a 4th and 6 and let them throw a touchdown pass like Tennessee did.
No.
Yeah. My biggest take to that is going to be this: make Georgia have to do something they haven't done all season and see if they can do it. And I said this too. With Diego Pavia last bit, he's got like a 59% passer rating because I had to debate somebody on one of my shows. I said, look, I'm not saying the kid can't play. I've never said he's sorry, but they schemed up that offense tailored towards him. It's going to be very interesting when he goes off to the NFL because that rumor about a 7th season is not true. He's going to the league, and he'll be a late 4th or 5th round, maybe even 6th round pick to somebody that thinks they can turn him into a backup quarterback or a roster prospect. But see, here's the thing. He's got a 59% passer rating in the SEC. What tells you he's good with the arm? If he was an elite passer, he'd be up there with the John Mateers and such, where you have like a 60, almost 64 passer percentage, like with your Lenora Sellers, your Mateers, and your Garrett Nussmeier. So that's what worries me. And we have enough.
Mendoza's been cooking it up so far this season.
Who'd you say, Mendoza?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Indiana. I did not expect that Indiana team to come out the way they did this past weekend.
I told people Mendoza was going to be good this year. So, I'm just saying.
He looks very solid. And it's crazy because he was okay at Cal, but
Cal was bad, though. That's the thing. I mean, he was getting sacked left and right. Now he's got protection. That's sometimes all it needs. All you need.
Oh, yeah, Indiana did it. So, but I'm going to wrap it up because I know you got other callers.
We got a huge lineup.
We appreciate it, Alabama Richie. It's always great chatting with you.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it. And look, I'm not trying to look ahead to Vanderbilt or anything. I'll leave it at this, but I just always give something to think about. But, there's enough film on Pavia now that if you don't stop him, there's a problem. But you got to get past Georgia first and Sanford Stadium. And major question marks will be answered on Saturday. And it'll be interesting to listen into the calls and such, win or lose. So we'll go from there. But, Godfather, we'll get up with you. I'll be back on tomorrow on TikTok. Caden, pleasure. OH for you. Zach, we'll see you guys later. But the real ones say, roll tide, roll.
Roll tide, roll.
See you guys later.
See you, Richie.
See you guys.
Roll tide, roll. You have a good night, Richie.
And since we've got a huge lineup tonight, we're doing an 8 minutes for each caller, and we're gonna start with Hunter on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy? And after Hunter, it's Cade the Diesel Freak, Godfather of the SEC, and Zachary Wilges.
How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, doing all right, good buddy. How you doing tonight?
Good. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what y'all said. You and the last caller said. I think all that is true. But I think the biggest thing going into this game is the thing that we were looking for in the last two games is the intensity. And if we can play with the level of intensity that we played in the last two games, we can win this ball game. And we just cannot get in that game and get so overwhelmed by the atmosphere that we allow that to take over. And I think that's the big key to this game. We have the athletes to do it. We know that Ty Simpson can throw the ball. we've been shown that. Now, granted, the competition level that we played at, but I mean, even against Air, it's hard to do what he did the last 2 weeks. So, we know we got the athletes, we know all those things, but the biggest question mark is going to be with that intensity for all 60 minutes of the ball game. And I remember that's what Nick Saban always preached about was playing with intensity and playing to the Bama standard. And so, that's where I think this game really comes down to because you can get in the weeds about all the stats and all that, yeah, and all that is true. But if you don't play with the same intensity as you had the last 2 weeks, then you're not going to win the game.
Agreed. Well,
I
I'll
think we'll
tell
play hard. I
you.
mean, that's what I think. I mean, I think the intensity will be there because it's Georgia. I'm still concerned about the rest of the season, but like everybody's saying, got to focus on this game. It's just that our intensity is very inconsistent. At least last year, it was great against Georgia, and it should be good in this game, I would believe. I think that, they'll play hard. I do wonder, like you said, if the atmosphere will get to them or not, because it is going to be crazy. But, I mean, they already have played at Florida State. I know Florida State, it's not the exact same level of atmosphere, the exact same level of crowd noise, but it's pretty close. Florida State
Oh,
was it was crazy.
I would argue because I've been to several Florida State games. I would argue that Florida State is probably a more loud environment than Sanford Stadium.
I mean, they did reduce the stadium size, so that's one thing kind of hurting Florida State a hair. In the hierarchy of all the stadium. I know some people say stadium size don't matter because like Rice Eccles is good and it's small, but I mean Florida State's a good atmosphere. Don't get me wrong, it's a great atmosphere. I mean, I just think because it's Bama, Georgia's it's going to be, for them it's going to be great. But regardless, I'm just saying I feel like, in my opinion, the fact we played at Florida State, we've already been in that atmosphere that was crazy, that was loud. I think that should help Simpson and Alabama because we've already done it. Lost, but we've already done it. So I'm hoping that, that experience will have them ready for the Georgia game. But I mean, you make a fair point. Florida State's a great atmosphere. I just think that that loss and that atmosphere that we've already faced is a good thing for the prospects of this game.
Well,
Well, because
Hunter, would you like to know the last time Georgia has beaten us in Athens?
that would have been it's been a long, long time. It's been well, I know we beat them in the blackout game last time they played. We played against them.
2008,
Yeah,
September 27th, with Mike Patrick and Todd Blackledge on the call on ESPN.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's not the thing like as much as playing. Like, I think we will play with
Well,
intensity, but it's playing with intensity when adversity hits.
the,
And and that's the thing that I'm talking about when it comes to intensity, and just playing, like we've seen them play against UL Monroe. Now, granted, the level of competition, but they were flying to the ball all game long, and that's just what I would. That's what we need to see in this game.
well, I will say, the last time Georgia has beaten us in Athens was in 2003. And that was in the dark ages of Alabama football with the
I was
Sheila
not
era.
alive yet.
That's
I,
why I
I,
like that's why it was the dark ages, man, because you weren't around yet, man.
I appreciate that, Jackson.
I say what I mean, and because of the fact that it was the dark ages of the internet. No YouTube, no Twitter, no Instagram, no nothing.
Some people
I
would
was
say
8 years
that was a
old.
positive, but still.
I was
But
8 years old then
so,
at that game. So,
Jackson
um,
man.
was 6.
Yep.
so, I'm gonna wrap it up with this. I think having Tim Keenan back and having Jay Miller back
Uh,
is going to be positives in this game. I think I've been impressed with the ability of Riley to in pass protection, but I think Jam is just a step above. I think he has a better play recognition than Riley just because of experience. But I think that I think we'll see both of them play at the position, and then having Tim Keeney back. as just for a leadership perspective is good. And we all know he's a beast on the D line. So um, those are two other positives that we have going in this game. But um, I'm just ready for Saturday, and there's some good football games this weekend. Besides, I'm just excited and looking forward to this game.
I
No, me
think
too.
everybody.
It's a big game. It's a really big game.
We can. This would probably be the biggest game of the year. Especially if Alabama wins this game, it'll be huge, and it'll be one to remember for sure. So let's just get out here and win this game, and we
Oh,
can focus on Vandy and everybody else later on.
one game at a time,
Absolutely.
as they say.
Gotta take it one. Gotta take it one game at a time.
Yeah, man. Well, y'all have a good night, and I'll let y'all next week.
See
Appreciate
you
it, Hunter.
next
Hope you
week.
have a great night.
You too, my man.
And we've got super stickers from Kate the Diesel Freight, 99 cents, and $1.99. So we've got some super stickers from Kate the Diesel Freight tonight, and he is our next caller. After that is Godfather of the SEC, Zachary Wilches, and Brock Watson. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
You said my name 3 times, and I'm here. That's all you just got to do, Jackson, is say my name 3 times, and I appear.
You thinking you're like the Candy Man or something, or whatever that freaking movie is?
No, I just have that natural ability. If someone says my name 3 times, or 1 time or 2 times, I just appear.
I see you changed your profile picture.
Oh yes, I did. It was time for a change a little bit, but how are you gentlemen doing tonight? I see we got Coach Smook in the room tonight.
Doing pretty good. Just excited about the game. It's a big game. 2 nights away.
Well, Jackson's over here telling me to chill down. When I'm just laughing at the fact that all Alabama fans are just confident in this game being easy, yet I've told them to watch it because Georgia could come out and surprise y'all and beat y'all in Athens.
Well, I mean, it hasn't happened since 03, and it's
Georgia is favored to win. I mean, they're supposed to win, right, according to the odds makers, but that doesn't mean they're gonna win.
Yeah. And I have Georgia favored in that game this Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, of course you do. You've been talking about this game for like 8 months. I mean,
not even 8 months, Jackson. 7. And I've been keeping track.
It's roughly the same time equivalent, but still,
But here's my 2 cents on it. Alabama is walking into one of the most, I'd say, in my opinion, toughest places in the SEC. Athens, Georgia. And that's basically the SEC's prison of college football.
That's
and not only is it,
yeah. Okay.
And not only is Alabama walking in to the most dangerous place in all college football this year, I actually is in my $1.99 super chat, my super sticker, Jackson. You mind pulling that up? Is a spoiler alert. Well, 2026, and 2027, 2028, Alabama is coming to Ohio State. And spoiler alert, it'll be the first time the Crimson Tide has come to Columbus, Ohio, and played the Buckeyes in the Horseshoe. And I am really looking forward to that.
Man,
and I told Jackson,
if we still had Saban, it wouldn't even be a contest, man. Honestly.
Okay.
I wouldn't say Saban still because A, he's retired, and B, we all know if he came back, he would be pulling all of his money worth to tell the NCAA to quit with the NIL deals. Let's be fair about that.
Okay, Caden, one question for you. How you feeling about your Buckeyes against Washington this Saturday?
No, he's confident. He's not worried at all. Of course not.
I'm over here eating watermelons and listening to Jackson. And Jackson, I heard you and Austin talking about this. That little douchebag Twinkie eating friend of yours.
Lord.
And I said, you know what, Jackson, you made the smart answer. Smart answer. And I'll give you credit, Jackson. I figured you would have picked Washington to beat us, but I guess you do have some brain cells up in that skull of yours.
Okay.
But I'll give you props. I do got Ohio State winning that game by 3 touchdowns, no questions asked. Washington is just another stepping stone to Ohio State.
Well, I mean, it's just gonna be it's gonna be an underrated matchup, but Bama,
It's only
Georgia.
going to be a good matchup if Washington shows up. I mean, they got the home field advantage. It's a tough place to play. It's a big travel for Ohio State. Washington won a big game against Michigan last year, and Michigan wasn't very good. So, it's just, and they beat Ohio State. But I think that Washington, if they were legitimately a good team, they could win. I think they have a slim chance, but I don't think overall
there is no chance in hell they beat Ohio State, Jeffrey.
they have a slim chance.
We own the Washington
like
Huskies.
A slim chance. It's like a 2% chance. It's theoretically a chance. It's like a little bit better than the chances of winning the lottery, which is less than a 1% chance. It's like a 0.001% chance. So, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeffrey, here's a chance that that's 100% a guarantee. Me winning the bet against your buddy this weekend when they lose to Arkansas. So keep that in mind,
if
too.
Notre Dame loses to Arkansas, then yes, you won. You've won. And he's our good friend, Will, and his Notre Dame Fighting Irish, unfortunately, are cooked for the season. But
Yeah.
they haven't lost yet.
Well,
so we'll see.
It's going to happen this weekend, and I guaranteed it. Now, Will and D, I'm betting he's probably
Arkansas might
somewhere.
still be demoralized from that game against Memphis, man. They should have beat Memphis, but they freaking choked.
Arkansas
Well, this could be the turn.
More like 2021 Nebraska to me, honestly. Like they're always at a close game and they always lose it.
They blew that game, dude. I mean, they had that game in the bag. All that dude had to do was not fumble, and then they would have kicked a 20-yard field goal, and they would have won.
But you never know. And I'm sick of Will and D and all them Notre Dame fans running their mouths. And I really am just praying that this is their third loss and that I can finally just hear their
really
mouths
weird
just
thing
shut.
to pray for, but okay.
Yeah, Caden's praying for $500 is what he's
Jackson, do you know how many times I listen to a bunch of Will and D's fans on social media complaining, saying, and I mean, oh my God, it's ridiculous. It's almost ridiculous as your own fan base, and even your fan base is just as awful as Nebraska. Hell, Indiana's fan base is as worse as Nebraska.
Well, Caden, we gotta get
how is Indiana's fan base as worse as Nebraska? I'm confused.
Jeffrey, I mean, all of y'all just cry, complain, and whine. That's all y'all do. Bama fans whine, complain, moan, and ever since Saban left, that's all I've been hearing from your fan base.
That's honestly all I hear
Jeffrey.
Ohio State fans do is whine, complain. I mean, do you remember Jeremiah Smith? Oh, that wasn't a push-off. That was rigged against Oregon. Oh, Ron Day should be fired because they can't beat Michigan. That Nebraska game was a fluke. Ohio State fans complain a lot too. All fan bases complain, dude. Literally.
Well, Jackson, I don't need to hear any more of your moronic arguing. So Go Bucks, and I'll say this: roll Buckeyes, roll, and
Okay, good
screw the
night,
Tide.
Caden. See you next week.
That's a roll tide roll, Caden. That's a roll tide roll.
And we got
And
the
by golly, I
golf.
hope this happens. And if it does, man, you will never hear the end of it if that happens.
Well, we'll definitely wait and see. And we've got Golfire, the SEC Nets on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I just had to take some stomach and headache medicine after that shit.
I'm sorry, Godfather. It's painful.
Talk. Listen, you talk about the defense and offensive line. Alabama's defense, I'm no coach and no player. Gonna have to play some more zone because the last few years, if the defensive front gets a push and can't get back there to sack the quarterback, how many lanes do you have open and how much running is Georgia's quarterback going to do when the middle of the field once again is wide open and they're back there playing man to man and your linebackers are drop back so far they can't pick back up and get in the middle of the field after somebody's done picked up 10, 15, 20 yards. They can't play man on that long. If they do, it's going to be a long night. Long one.
Well, I think we can put a ton of pressure on the Bulldogs. I think we'll make sure of that.
If he can't, I mean, maybe what you do is you go back and take the checkbook and throw it at Glenn Schumann, hire Pruitt back, let him set out his 1 year show clause. He can still work. That doesn't mean he can't work. You bring him back, put him over the run game, put Schumann over the pass game. You got co-coordinators on the defense. I never was a huge Pruitt fan. We see what happened when he was there with what Dabo done to us. I mean, he's still a good coach, but he's a good coach, and that's what I'd do. That's what maybe they should have done to start with. I mean, I don't know. I've talked to a lot of guys. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to show some blitz. They're gonna have to do something and mix it up Saturday night. Or I mean, I don't say Georgia's that good. I mean, I don't. I don't think they're anything to there's some of their past teams they've had. They're not even close. But if DeBoer loses this one, the fan base is going to be irate. If you don't want to hear it or see it, the best thing you can do is not turn your phone or TV on next week. I mean, they're going to go AWOL. They're going to call.
I mean, my thing is, again, I think that Alabama's going to show up for this game. Whether we win or not, we'll see. But I think we will show up. I'm not really worried about our intensity for this game. I'm more worried about the rest of the season because to me, because it's Georgia, they're going to show up. I mean, Alabama, Georgia is not a rivalry in the traditional sense, but the way these two teams and these programs have been the last decade, it's a big deal. It's like the biggest game every year. So I think we will show up. I'm very confident in that regard. But I just hope that if we do win, that we showed the same intensity the rest of the year, because if we do, we can beat everybody else on our schedule. But for the game itself, I want to see us run the ball well, and I want to see, Alabama not allow Georgia to get easy yards, just dink and dunks, have Gunner Stock to be comfortable. You got to blitz the guy. You got to put pressure on Georgia. I mean, Georgia's run game is not elite or anything. So it's like Gunner Stockton's going to have a good game to win like he did against Tennessee, theoretically. So it's like if we put pressure on Gunner Stockton, just like Georgia probably will try to put pressure on Ty Simpson. To alleviate that, though, you've got to run the ball and run the ball effectively. I think the team that runs the ball better has a great shot to win. I'm just worried with DeBoer because they haven't really committed to the run good enough. I know a lot of people saying that he has. I don't agree with that. I don't think that we're still running the ball as good as we should and can. And with Jam Miller back, that should be an upgrade. So Alabama's got to be intense. They got to run the ball well, and they got to pressure Stockton, because if they do and he gets, scrambled around, then I think that we will win the game. That's my opinion.
I hope they can run the ball. I mean, consistently, can they run the ball and beat Georgia without the pass game? No.
absolutely not. They just have to run the ball. We still have to run the ball.
What does what does Glenn Schumann do? What's he juggling? And I'll get off here. Would he rather put the pressure on it and make Ty Simpson throw? Would take the running game away or give him the running? I mean, what would you do? In my opinion, if I was a defense coordinator, I'd put the pressure on him, make him beat me with his arm and see if they can do it. That's what I would do because I mean, as honest as wishy-washy as offensive line has been in some of these last games in the last few years, I mean, I don't know if Alabama's got to mix it up Saturday night. I know I sound like a uh, I'm I'm really down on them this week. I'm not down on them. They're gonna have to make some changes and stick to it because I don't think they can. We're gonna have to do like we done last year, jump on top of them and punch them in the mouth, and then hope they can't come back. I mean, if we do what we done last year and we're up 21, 28 points and they haven't scored anything by halftime, Georgia doesn't have the team they had them last year or the years before. They'll never come back on Alabama. Not in my opinion, they can't. But I would make Ty Simpson beat me with his arm. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. But
Give him the running game. Give him the running game. Make him beat you with his arm. Can he beat you with his arm? Yeah, we got the wide receivers to do it. Bernard, and you got Ryan Williams, and you got some other guys. I mean, he's looked good. Ty has the last two games, but I mean, you got guys on here. They're picking Georgia by 2 or 3, 4 touchdowns. Big media guys. Not Waylon. Those guys. I mean, they have no faith in Alabama. I do, but I just see some things that they possibly gonna have to do a little different. They got to shut down the middle of the field somehow. Somehow. I mean,
I think we can shut down the Bulldogs record. We can shut them down.
I don't know. I can preach all night long. That's not going to help anything. But I mean, look, I'll ask y'all this and I'm off here. How many teams have we saw pick up 10, 15, 20 yards in the middle of the field on us in the last 3 or 4 years? How many, Jeffrey? How many can you remember? Just the middle of the field's wide open.
Oh man, there's a
He,
lot.
he didn't die on me, did he?
No, it's all right, man.
I mean, people don't want to hear that. I know. I don't. I mean, it's ugly, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens Saturday night. I
Sorry,
hope
I'm
Alabama.
back, Godfather. What was that?
I just said, how many teams have you saw the last 3 or 4 years kill us in the middle of the field?
I mean, it happens. I mean, our defense has not been as good as it's been in the past. I mean, we've been giving up, bigger plays than we ever used to. So yeah, I mean, it can be very vulnerable for sure.
And I'm not one of these guys calling to fire coaches, but I mean, if it don't work out this year, that's just a plan I said I would make at the end of the year. I would be hunting some guys with some experience and uh, I don't know, Pruitt, a lot of people like him, a lot of people don't. Like I said, I never was that big a fan of him, but he's got some good things about defense and Glenn Schumann, I don't know if Alabama should ever let him go or not. Let him go and put, what's his name, Pete Golding in his spot. And then he went to Georgia and won how many championships? 2?
Well,
With with what's his name is his analyst. What's the cat's young boy's name? I can't think of it no more. He's not young. He's in his 50s. It was coach at South Carolina. What's his name? Will Muschamp.
Muschamp, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just a lot of things to think about. But I'm always roll tide, win, lose, or draw. Like I said, I'm no player or no coach, so I don't know. I just thought I'd bring up a few things I usually don't bring up. I usually talk about the past, but I love the show. Y'all always do a great job on Thursday night. There's always entertainment here. And Richie's show, I love his TikTok stuff. He does a great job on it, allowing the old man to get in there, and listen and throw a little bull crap around, every now and then, see if it sticks to the wall. But anyway, y'all be safe. Let's see what happens Saturday night. It's like I said, if they lose, it's gonna be ugly. Might as well get ready for it. If they win, I don't know. They're still, keeps the intensity up. The bye week sort of, I worry about the bye week. I like them for injuries, but the momentum fall a little bit? I think so. I think you lose a little, but you get some people healed up. We'll see what happens on Saturday night. But y'all guys, be safe. Keep your fingers and toes crossed, and we'll see what happens after the game's over Saturday night. All right.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Godfather. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Always a great time talking with you. And I agree with you 100%. We got to have that intensity. We got to show up, and we got to keep it for 4 quarters and for the rest of the season. It's about, for DeBoer, it's about getting his teams to play as close to as possible to the level that Saban was able to get it at. It's not going to be that, but we can get back to that, Alabama standard, we should be fine. So I'm going to be really excited about the game.
And Caden, we still love you. I don't know what you're eating, but you shouldn't be eating this late at night in your aunt's basement. You shouldn't do that. But I love y'all. Y'all be safe and roll tide. Roll.
Roll Tide,
roll.
Godfather.
Y'all be good. Bye, everyone.
And we got Zachary Wilges Nets on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are you doing, Jackson and Jeffrey?
I'm doing all
Doing
right.
good, Zachary. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was kind of late to the show because we was doing our live game simulation over on Coach Smoot's channel tonight and finishing that up and everything. So we had that going on. So I hopped on late.
We
But yeah,
appreciate you for stopping by. Better late than never, as they always say, right?
right. Yeah. I think our offensive line has looked better since Florida State. And we didn't really, the interior didn't look bad against Florida State. Caden and Formby had some spots in that game to where they didn't perform like to the standard, but Parker and Gino Vanamark and Camberry, they did their job. And if Ty got or when Ty got sacked in the Florida State game, it was because Ty held on to the ball too long, or he left the pocket too early, or whatever the case may be. And our running game is looking better. I mean, Wisconsin, that like I said, uh, the other day. They loaded the box on us and forced us to throw the ball to try to get us away from our run game, but we still had an effective run game that opened up our passing game, and I don't if Georgia wants to just send 4 and drop 8, that's a bad move because we'll just dink and dunk them and tear them up all night long. But what they're gonna have to do to be able to get pressure on Ty is send like 5 or 6 uh on every play, to really get that pressure on him and to try to get him out of rhythm. But with the way Ty has looked in the last 2 games, and what I know about Georgia's defense so far this year, I don't think Georgia's going to be able to do it. I actually think Alabama, if anybody wins by four, 14 plus points, I think it'll be Alabama that does. I don't think Georgia can beat us by 14. I think it's going to be a lot closer game because Gunnar Stockton in this game, he hadn't faced a defense that could really set him up to put him in a position to where he could turn the ball over. Alabama has that capability to and a better secondary along with our defensive line and the talent that we got at the defensive line position and the pressure that we're able to not necessarily pass rush or get sacks, but the pressure rate that we've been able to apply on the quarterbacks is fourth best in the country right now in 3 games, even with the bad game against Florida State. So I mean, we're right there behind, only behind Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the team I know that's ahead of us. I don't know the other two teams ahead of us. But yeah, I believe Alabama's gonna be able to go out there and really and shock the world. You know.
Oh, agreed.
But yeah,
How,
because
how you feeling about the running game on Saturday? Because I think we can get it done. Like we can get
I
that
do
right.
too. Because Tennessee had success in the run game. And I mean, yeah, Tennessee's not Alabama, and Tennessee, but I don't think Tennessee's offensive line was as dominant as what a lot of people thought in that game. I just think they was able to do enough to open up some lanes to where they had some effective runs. And because Georgia couldn't get pressure up front to really disrupt the run game, and they was at, and which also allowed Joey Aguilar to get out there and sling the ball around, to his receivers, and he made some, and his receivers made some good plays, in that game. But I think Ty is not necessarily a better quarterback, but a more accurate quarterback than what Joey Aguilar was against Georgia. And so I think with that, Ty will be able to be able to uh, put the ball in a good spot for the receivers, and as long as the receivers catch it and drops don't become an issue in this game like it was against Florida State, then I believe we'll have us a good game. And and a lot of people don't realize, that Florida State game was a sloppy game, with the field being wet and the ball being wet. A lot of those passes, Ty wasn't able to get the umph that he would be able to get on the ball in a situation when the field's dry to get them to the receivers, and then the balls that he was able to get to the receivers, 6 of them they dropped, and so we're just we're going to have to go out there and be intense, which Kane Wommack said we're going to blitz this game. We're going to send pressure. We're going to play aggressive this game, which we have to be able to disrupt Gunner Stockton, and disrupt this run game, because our defense ain't set up to stop the run. It's set up to slow it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, again, to me, I feel like one of the most important aspects of the game is the lines of scrimmage, as cliche as that is. I mean, in every game it matters. It matters no matter who you play. But in a game between two very talented teams like Alabama and Georgia, we're both always talented every single year, the lines of scrimmage are really going to matter. If we put more pressure on Gunner Stockton than they put on Ty Simpson, then I think that we're in great shape. Gunner Stockton will make mistakes if Georgia's having to throw the ball every single down. just like it can be the other way around for us. If Ty Simpson's having to throw on 3rd and long situations every single, possession because we're not running the ball well and we're not picking up first downs and it's 3rd and 10, it's going to be bad. I mean, you don't want to get that crowd going. I thought it was very important against Florida State that we get a lead early to keep the crowd out of it. We did go up 7-0, but then Florida State took over the rest of the game. So, we might start out 7-0, but it doesn't mean we have the game. We have to continue to play hard for 4 quarters. We can win the game. But like everyone's saying in chat, it literally is who balls out. It is literally who plays harder, and for all positions. These are both talented teams, despite both teams having flaws. But I think we have the better team when we want to play like it. But if we show up and we play hard, we definitely can't win. So,
Right. And I trust our secondary more than I trust Georgia's going into this game, because Georgia's secondary has looked very, very suspicious, not only this year, but last year as well. Even in games that they won, they was still suspect, but just able to make enough plays on offense to win the game. So.
for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I'm excited about Saturday. Like, I mean, I think everybody's excited about Saturday.
As they should. It's a massive game. I mean, it might be getting overshadowed a little bit by Oregon, Penn State, but again, like I said at the beginning of the show, for a lot of people, this is the biggest game this Saturday. Despite Oregon, Penn State, that's a fantastic game too. But a lot of eyes are going to be on Alabama, Georgia. It's a big, big game. Right. If Alabama loses, we're not history. We could win out, but our odds are very slim at that point. It's a very important game for both teams because, I mean, Georgia's got some tough games the rest of the way too. So, if they lose, it could be a little dicey for them. So,
right. And I believe this game matters more for Alabama than it does Georgia. But I agree with what you're saying, Jeffrey. If Georgia does lose, they got some tough games coming up to where it would make it difficult. So, I mean, both teams are going to play hard no matter what. So, it's just who's out there, who's ready to make the most plays Saturday is going to win.
for sure.
All right, well, I'm going to hop off of here, guys. I'll holler at y'all later, and bro tie.
We appreciate you coming on, Zachary. Absolutely made a lot of great points about the game. I mean, we're all excited about it. It's definitely going to be a great game, and hopefully the good guys win. Hopefully our positive thoughts on the game come to pass. But definitely appreciate you for coming on the show tonight, Zachary.
All right, there we go. And we got our last car of the night. Schmidt's thoughts on the line. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, guys. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. Doing all right. What's on your mind tonight, man?
Listen, man, I'm hearing a lot of fair weather fan talk across the Alabama fan base. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. If you're a true fan and you've been a fan for as long as you've been a fan, one loss should not shake your confidence on what this team can become. The opponent doesn't matter, but only when it's ULM or Wisconsin. But the opponent doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter against Georgia. It shouldn't matter against Florida State. We need to go show up and play. But when we play lesser teams, all of a sudden the opponent doesn't matter. You guys got to make your mind up, Bama fan base. Now, about this game Saturday. If you guys can look at the production, the consistent production that other offenses are getting against Georgia, and we're talking Austin Peay, we're talking Marshall, we're talking explosive plays, 20-plus yards per play. This is not a Georgia team that's built to contain an explosive offense. And if Alabama has to pass the ball 40 times to win by 21, so be it. So be it. But are you fair weather fans, Y'all got to chill out, man. The game, and we ain't even kicked the ball off yet and already conceded. Y'all already conceded victory just because we're going on the road. This is our chance to step up. Y'all got to step up and let your Bama pride be shown. Y'all got Georgia fans laughing at you on Twitter. Step up, man. Act like you're a team that's coming off a 2-game win streak. Act like you're a team that has just as good of a home winning record as Georgia. Act like you've been here before. Bama by 15. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. And we got our last card of the night, Austin Williams on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Oh, doing pretty good. Jeffrey, Jackson, how are we? How are we? Happy Thursday.
Happy
What's
Thursday,
cooking on the
Austin.
north side over there?
Oh man. We're getting things rolling for Saturday night. I'm excited.
Oh, yes. And Jeffrey, congratulations to Mr. Signetti and those Hoosiers. I know this is a Bama channel, but congrats. Mr. Signetti is winning. He wins.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Yeah, Indiana looks really good. Like, unbelievably good. Better than I ever would have expected in my life. So it's remarkable. And I think finally people outside of certain individuals that will never think that he's good, most people finally are giving credit to IU, which is amazing. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. What I want to talk about, you all tonight, couple things. We talk about the ratings war, right? And I want both y'all's thoughts on this, because obviously it's the two biggest games of the weekend: Penn State, Oregon versus Bama, Georgia. Do you think this is the week the Big Ten wins the ratings war over the SEC, or does Bama, Georgia reign supreme in the end? Because there's going to be people like probably all three of us that are going to watch both games. But for those diehards of one team or one conference, who do y'all think wins the rating war on Saturday?
Well, I mean, the Big Ten's won before. I mean, typically Ohio State, Michigan's the most viewed game of the year in the regular season. So it's not like the Big Ten has never won. I mean, there's a shot because, I mean, NBC, a lot of people have that, but a lot of people have ABC as well. I mean, it's probably going to be about 50-50, honestly. I mean, maybe Alabama, Georgia's got more views, but it'll be about 50-50.
What do you think, Jack?
Oh, I think the ratings war is going to go to Alabama, Georgia. It's not going to go to Penn State, Oregon. It's going to be Alabama, Georgia reigning supreme once again.
I mean, Oregon and Penn State are not as big of fan bases as Michigan, Ohio State are. I mean, Alabama, Georgia are big fan bases.
I'd say Penn State probably has a big fan base. I'm probably not more than Ohio State and Michigan, but do you think Penn State's right about even with Georgia? I won't say Bama because there's a lot of you, but like Georgia. Or do you think Georgia still got the edge because they've won more recently?
I think Alabama is an edge.
Oh, obviously Bama's got all the fans. I mean, heck, this is why there's an Alabama calling show and not a Penn State calling show. But that could be arranged though if people want it. So tell your friends.
You were asking Georgia versus Penn State.
Yes. Who has more fans?
Georgia. I think.
What do you think, Jackson?
Oh, Bama's got more fans than Georgia.
He's asking Georgia or Penn State. I misheard as well. Georgia or Penn State. I think Georgia does.
Oh, Georgia, obviously.
I got you. And I will say this, but to Bama, Georgia,
their Twitter followings aren't the only thing that matters, but Penn State on Twitter is 500,000 followers. Georgia has 1.2 million. I mean, kind of tells you there's something right there.
Yeah, that is true.
And Oregon's a lot less. I mean, Oregon, these are not as big a brand. That's why Alabama and Georgia should have more views. Oregon is 400,000 followers. I mean, Michigan and Ohio State are both in the millions. I mean, that's why Michigan and Ohio State is the most viewed. I think Bama and Georgia will have more views than Oregon, Penn State. The only reason I said Oregon, Penn State would be close because maybe a lot of Michigan and Ohio State fans would watch that game just to see how good those teams are.
see how it would help the schedule coming down the stretch. But to Bama, Georgia, though, me and Jackson talked about this, and Jackson's got Alabama winning. I've got Georgia winning by a field goal. I'd like to know where you stand on this, Jeffrey. Do you think? I know Alabama's had Georgia's number, but that's also been under Nick Saban. Now, DeBoer did win last year, and it was in Tuscaloosa. But do you think Georgia will finally break that stigma on Saturday? Because I feel like Gunnar Stockton, I think, proved a lot of people wrong against Tennessee, including myself. I won't speak for you or Jackson, but I feel like he proved a lot of people wrong in the big-time throws he made against Tennessee. And I feel like he's going to do something similar against Bama on Saturday. What do you think, Jeffrey or Jackson?
I think we'll be beating Georgia again because, like I said tonight, they've not beaten us in Athens since 2003, and that was in the Sheila era. And they're not gonna have an easy time with the Crimson Tide for sure.
I tend to agree with that. I think I haven't made an official prediction yet. Should hopefully be going. Well, I technically did make a prediction on the. Did we on Monday? Did we? No, we didn't do a prediction.
No, we did.
We did not. So I haven't made an official prediction yet. That's right. But I should be going live hopefully with Will and D tomorrow. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to spoil it, but I mean, I'm more positive towards Bama though. I mean, I think we're better. I just think the intensity matters. I think who plays harder.
Yeah, so you're leaning Bama. Got it. Gotcha. Yeah, don't spoil your pick if you're not ready to give it. But I will say this. Bama's starting to get some pieces back. Jam Miller's coming back, right? That's been confirmed. He's coming back healthy, correct?
He should be back, right?
Jam Miller's back.
Okay. I want to make sure I read the reports right. So I don't know how.
I'm tired as all, guys. Sorry, I'm fine, but I'm tired.
You're good.
But I'm perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong. I appreciate the concern.
A couple more things on the game, and then I get out of y'all's hair. Jam Miller though, is he going to be on a snap count? That's what worries me, because like Jackson said, Bama needs to run the ball better. He didn't sugarcoat it. On Monday, he said Bama needs to run the ball better. Their O-line needs to protect better. They need to run the ball if they want to win this game. But is Jam Miller going to be on a snap count? And if he is, how much do you integrate him back into the offense this quick? Because it's not like you're playing a Kentucky or I can't even say Vandy anymore because Vandy's a threat again. Spoiler alert, guys. Vanderbilt football is for real. Diego Pavia.
Not as good as IU, but they're good.
I would love to see that game, but that's beside the point. Vandy and Indiana, I'd love to see that on a neutral field. Book it. Jackson, you're a bookie. Book that game for us, and we'll get tickets. But in all seriousness, though,
I think they got all sold out.
Daggone it. Okay, we'll schedule it next year. But back to the point, though. To my question to you all, folks, though, how much do you expect from Jam Miller on Saturday?
I mean, I think we'll see him a decent amount, but I do think that he probably won't play as much as he normally does. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't played. I mean, they might want to rest him. They conserve his health. I mean, he takes a bad hit in this game. It could all that rehab and all that, rehabilitation, whatever, just goes out the window. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to see him a lot in this game. I do think we see him a decent amount because we're going to need him. I know a lot of people are saying we don't need him. I've seen that narrative. We do need him. Our running game is not that good. 3.8 yards per carry or whatever we're averaging right now. I mean, that's fine, but we're not doing it consistently well. We're not running the ball that well. It's not a very big focal point of our offense. I don't believe we did not run the ball well against Wisconsin. I know they stacked the box. I get it. I know they stacked the box. They made us throw. But in the past, we would have been able to run the ball well anyway. We got to be able to run the ball well, and I think Jam Miller elevates our running back room. So hopefully he plays a decent amount. I think we'll see at least a good amount, but not the full game probably.
What about you, Jack?
I think we can see Jam Miller in the field for a lot of the game. I think he can get at least 95 to 120 yards for rushing yards. And I think the other running backs like Hill and Washington, they'll be taking care of business as well for the running game.
And what I will say, in the last key I want to make on this is, how much blitz do y'all expect from Georgia? Because even though Georgia defense is not what it once was, obviously Georgia's defense is still pretty good. Like, Kirby Smart always has a pretty good defense, but it's vulnerable now. Do you think that they will take a chance at blitz more? Because I know Bama, with Ryan Williams is obviously a dangerous weapon. But do you think they blitz, knowing now Ty Simpson's not as mobile as Milroe, and say, okay, he beat us last year. Ryan Williams beat us, but he had a mobile quarterback doing it. Now, do we blitz him some more, or do you think they sit back and play some Tampa 2 and be like, okay, Bama, you can run the ball, but you're not going to beat us deep. You're going to go on long drives. Or what do you think Georgia defensive game plan will be?
Well, I mean, they might try to blitz, but the thing is that that's why I think it's imperative Alabama runs the ball well in this game, because running reduces a blitz. Because if we run the ball well and we're committed to the run and we're in third and shorts more often than we're in third and longs, then they can't blitz at all. But to a lot of people's point, including this comment here, Georgia's not been, that great on defense. I mean, Tennessee, yeah, we know they got a good offense and all, but Georgia let Tennessee just do whatever they wanted. Again, they gave that game away. There's nothing else that could be said. I know Georgia fans hate hearing that, but Tennessee gave that game away. That was their game to win. Georgia had no business winning that game. And Alabama's a better football team than Tennessee. So, I don't know. Again, Georgia's just not the same defense they used to be. They're just not. So if Alabama can run the ball fairly well and keep Ty Simpson out of third and longs, Georgia won't be able to blitz much
Agreed.
at all.
I mean, like 0 sacks, like from Georgia, that's pretty good for us right there.
We don't need to be in third and longs, because then they can blitz if they want to.
Then they could pin their ears back and come after you. And that's the thing that worries me. Like with Milroe, you can always count on him. If they do pin their ears back, they're going to regret it, because he's going to take off and be like Speedy Roadrunner. Meep, meep, he's gone. But with Simpson, will Kirby Smart be like, okay, we're going to put you third and long, and then we're gonna sick the dogs on you, so to speak. And can Ty Simpson handle that? Because we saw against Florida State when they brought some blitz packages, he didn't look too hot. Like, I think if anyone that watched the game with the 2 eyes can say he did not look good. Now, I know it was a road game and it was his first start, but still, he did not handle it well. And it's just like, I don't know, that scares me about this game. And, like, do you all trust Ty Simpson to be able to handle the blitzes, to handle these coverages? Go ahead, Jackson. My apologies.
That's all right. You good. I trust him.
What about you, Jeffrey? Do you trust Ty Simpson enough to handle the blitzes and the coverage that he's going to see? Because they're gonna test him, see how much he's learned, I think.
I mean, that's kind of a catch-22 question. I mean, I want to trust him, and the way he's played the last 2 weeks makes me want to believe that he can. The Florida State game, and I mentioned it even after that game, so can't say that I'm saying it now and I didn't say it then. I said it right after the game. I said it in the post game for that game. That loss was not all his fault. It was not all his fault. He was not perfect. He did not make the greatest throws in the game at times, but his receivers kind of let him down. The rest of the team kind of let him down in a lot of ways. It was not all on Ty Simpson. He was not perfect, but it was his first start. That mattered. It was his first game action that mattered. It was a big game for him, and he did not really deliver, but it was not all on him that they lost. But, I mean, if you look at that game, I'll look at it in the other way, that I feel like the Florida State game will prepare him for this game. It's like, what went wrong there? it's like taking a test and doing bad, and then you retake it. Like a driving test. You learn from the mistakes of the previous time, and you do better the next time. And maybe that will be the case when it comes to Ty Simpson, is that this game
great.
and the rest of the team, for that matter, will be ready for that type of environment, which they were not ready for in week one game.
Oh, excellent point by Zachary Wilges. The nerves of the first start affected him. Yeah, because, I mean, Simpson didn't have any trust in his instincts that first game against Florida State. Now he has a lot more trust in his instincts than he did against Florida State.
And I want to add to that real fast, Jackson. What I want to point out too is how much did that affect his nerves? Because sometimes, Jackson, we see it in quarterback. And Jeffrey, you've brought it up. Jackson, I know me and you have brought it up. Sometimes when you have a bad game, it affects the quarterback more than we think. Because those bad games for Carson Beck last year, they kept adding up. Now, I know all that wasn't his fault either, but it sometimes can affect the quarterback's confidence. It can rattle it. And I feel like I'm worried. Is he going to be timid those first couple drives against Georgia? Is he going to be like, oh, boy, here we go again? Like, oh, boy, no. Like, because this is going to be his first road SEC start, I believe, correct? On Saturday?
Correct. That's correct.
And that's the thing, too. It's against Georgia, arguably one of the 10 best teams in the country, some may say. That's where I'm kind of like, okay, Ty Simpson.
Here's the thing, though. Georgia's only beaten us once since 2008, and the last time they beat us in Athens was in 2003, the dark ages of the internet.
By the way, B, I passed my driving test the first time as well. Just want to reference that. I was just using it as an example that people could relate to, but definitely appreciate the comment there. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, I think something that a lot of people fail to understand when it comes to games, though, there's a reason why we say the phrase, this team would beat this team 6 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times or whatever. The reason we say that is because, okay, Alabama 99 out of 100 would beat Vanderbilt, but we didn't beat Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt's having a better run right now, and we played bad last year. The thing is that when you play a game, you don't know how a game's going to go. First play of the game, Ty Simpson could throw a pick six. And then from that point on, he's cooked. And we lose. You know what I'm saying? Or that could not happen. And Ty Simpson goes out there, first couple of drives, throws touchdown passes, and then he's confident for the rest of the game. We have no idea how the game is going to go. That's why all these are predictions. That's why all these are guesses. So that's what makes it so tough, honestly, to me, when trying to pick a game like this. We don't know how Ty Simpson's going to look because we don't know what's going to happen when the game starts.
And we don't know how Gunnar Stockton's going to perform either. Like, we're sitting here talking about Bama, but we really don't know how he's going to perform. Did he give everything he had to Tennessee? I mean, he might have. That might have been his best performance we're going to see out of him. And he may come in this game and lay an egg, and it may be on the defense to win the football game. This is the last thing for y'all. How do y'all feel about having bye weeks before these big games? Do y'all like it or no? Or do you prefer to keep playing because the momentum can build, or do you like taking a bye week for the big game?
Well, for me, I see Godfather's point of, it can break the momentum that the team is having. He did admit to, the injuries. When you have injuries, it's good because you can possibly get guys back. I think it's all on the team mentality. I know it's kind of a cop-out answer, but I think if a team's mentality is that when a bye week occurs, they don't lose their focus, they don't lose their intensity. If DeBoer, after the Wisconsin game, the team's locked in, like, hey, this is a bye week, but we're not going to slack off. We're not going to, take it easy this week, all that kind of stuff. Hey, we got 2 weeks to prepare for Georgia. We don't have to, practice that hard for the first week. If that kind of stuff is going on, then the bye week is bad because the team does lose focus. But if a team and a coach and, the whole, staff and the players are locked in during that bye week and they don't lose their intensity from the last game, then a bye week is a good thing because you do need a break. Everyone needs rest. I mean, you can't go all the time. You know, I mean, why is a person tired? Why would a person be tired? Because they're fatigued. They can't go anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you need a break. Yeah, this buys a little early in the season. I mean, you know, you probably like it a little later, but still, I mean, everyone deserves a break. I don't know. You can take it any which different way. I think that
Well,
overall bye weeks are probably a good thing, but I mean, they could hurt depending on the
and,
organization's approach or the player's approach to a bye.
and before Jack gives his take on it, what I will say to that too is, Jeffrey, sometimes a bye week does good. That's why I asked how y'all feel about it, because you remember the year the Buccaneers were that they were like, I think it was 4-6 in 2020. I think it was,
2020,
or
that's right.
they,
Actually, it was 5-6.
or was it 5-6? Okay,
Yeah,
and
because
they had a bye week, and
that was the first. No, yeah, you're right. 5-5.
yeah, they were 5-5 because they had played terrible against the Saints, and then they went on the bye. And then you want to know what happened after that? They didn't lose a game, and they won the whole. They beat the Saints in the divisional round, but they got skunked twice in the regular season.
The Saints stink now, so that's why I was like, rest in peace.
Okay, I got you. My bad. But to the point though, before Jack gives his take, sometimes a bye could do you good. The Buccaneers had a late bye and they won the Super Bowl, and sometimes you come off the bye and you build that momentum. You get confident to be like, oh yeah, we're feeling ourselves. This is a fresh start. We're starting over, and maybe that for Bama could be a good thing. Maybe they're like, okay, first 3 games maybe not how we look, but we got Georgia. If we beat Georgia, there ain't nobody in the country that's going to beat us, and they start over. Go ahead though, Jack. What do you think about the early buys? Or do you like them or not?
I'm all right with it personally. I really don't care. You know, it's like you do whatever. You know, it's like if you need a bye week for a big game, cool. You want to keep playing on, you do you, man. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. And I will say this 2 guys, obviously big game, and I'll give my score prediction. I'll get out of here. I got Georgia winning 27-24 on a field goal. Like I said Wednesday night, I'm sticking to it. I'll be a man of my word, like Jackson is. Whatever score I give on my show, I'll give here. 27-24 Dogs in a last-second field goal win. I think Bama makes a late turnover. The Dogs' defense creates a late turnover. Stockton takes it down the field and wins it. What do you think, Jeffrey?
I hope you're wrong.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Hey, here's the thing. I picked Washington to beat Ohio State. Spoiler alert. So, but yeah.
I would not be. I would not have a problem with that.
Wait, really? Oh, never mind.
Well, yeah, if you tuned in, you know, Jeffrey was kind of like, you know, if we're 2-2, cool, as long as we win out, you know, but at the same time, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose the Vandy, but I mean, nobody wants to lose Vandy. That's not going to happen.
You can't beat Georgia and then lose to Vandy, Auburn, all that. You have to beat Georgia and then play good the rest of the season. You can't do what we did last year and beat Georgia and then fall apart.
Listen, real fast, Jackson and Jeffrey, have you all seen people are predicting Vandy to win the SEC? Like, there are people out there that think Vandy's going to win the SEC. Like,
they are not going to win the SEC. I can guarantee that without having to explain why. They are not going to win the SEC. I told you that last year, and I'm telling you that again. They are not going to win the SEC. Not
like Jeffrey. Like you don't have to tell me. Tell these other people, because I see every time I'm scrolling through, and I'll tell Jackson, and I'll send it to him. I'll be like, what are these people thinking? Vandy is not going to win the SEC. I would bet the farm on it. And then I heard some people say they're going to beat Bama by 3 touchdowns next weekend. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? Like, listen, I know Jackson's a brilliant. Oh my gosh. But yeah, if Vandy beats Bama by 3 touchdowns, Jackson and me are going to have to celebrate or do something or whatever, because that's not going to happen. But anywho, thank you all as always for letting me on and being gracious. Jeffrey, good luck to your Hoosiers against the testy Iowa Hawkeyes.
Appreciate
And good
it.
luck to North Carolina.
And good
And
luck to your
Jackson?
Cardinals against Pitt.
Oh gosh, yeah,
I think
where dreams go to die.
I think Indiana and Louisville and Alabama have a better shot than North Carolina because North Carolina stinks, unfortunately. Bill Belichick is not panning out. Repeat, not panning out. Retirement.
And listen,
Retirement
this is
bill
a North
needs to
Carolina
happen.
fan. This is coming from a UNC guy too. That's how you know it's real.
If
But yeah,
Belichick works out, I'd be, I would be fine with it. I mean, I got nothing against the guy. If he wants to date young women, that's fine. I don't care. It's like whatever. But the problem is that North Carolina stinks, dude. Mac Brown was better, even with his dance moves. I mean, it was better.
oh Lord. Anywho, I'm sorry, Jackson. I took Jeffrey down that rabbit hole. I didn't think he'd go down that rabbit hole, but here we are. But thank you as always. And Jackson, as I bid you a goodbye, Jeffrey, you as well, and roll tide for your sake.
Roll Tide, Austin.
Appreciate it, Austin. Roll Tide.
And that is a wrap for tonight's edition of the call-in show. And before we get out of here tonight, Jeffrey, what have you got going on in your world, good buddy?
Definitely gonna have a Will and D live stream tomorrow, probably on week 5 college football predictions. Wanted to do it earlier in the week, did not happen. It's all good, scheduling conflicts, but hopefully we're able to do it tomorrow so we can get our official predictions in. I'm sure we both would have picked ECU, by the way. I know I would have officially on the live stream, but didn't get to. But, I mean, most people probably didn't care about that game, but, I still care a little bit.
I do.
It's in my state, but congrats to ECU. But hopefully we get our predictions in tomorrow for the crazy week 5 games that are coming up. Got a lot of thoughts on a lot of games, and it should be a lot more high energy tomorrow. Definitely won't be as tired after a good night's sleep. So definitely excited about that. Also, we're going live on Saturday night after all the games are done, except the late games because I can't stay up till 2 in the morning. I'll be doing my post-game thoughts on the week 5 college football games like I've been doing every single week. Always, you guys appreciate the great turnout. It's been amazing. You guys are awesome. It's always fun talking as the late games are going on about everything that has occurred. Just that quick, you have the games and then you just turn around, you do a stream, and it's fresh on everybody's minds. It's always crazy, so that's fun. I appreciate everybody. Also follow me on X as well. Staying, in touch with my updates, what I got coming up on my channel, and also Alabama Voice of College Football and other stuff going on in the sports world. And also subscribe to Alabama Voice of College Football here every Monday, Thursday, and we'll be here on Saturday night as well. Just doing that Saturday night post game with Jackson for the Georgia game, and then doing the live stream for the post game for all the games on my channel. But it should be a ton of fun. Win or lose, we will be there. No matter what. If Alabama loses by 50, we'll be there. If we win by 50, we'll be there. Talking about with you guys, discussing what went right or wrong. So appreciate all the support. You guys are amazing. Appreciate it. You're muted, Jackson.
Oh, my bad. I forgot for a moment.
I thought my internet died. I'm like, no, Jackson's muted.
Well, no, my sound diver set, but you check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I've got numerous episodes of Jack Sonny coming up, including with Sonny Verma from Locked On Illini and On 3. And of course, you can check me out on Jats BOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram. That's Jackson Johnson 543908. And for more updates on what we've got going on in Alabama, the Voice of College Football, check us out all right here on audio as well. You can listen to us on Amazon, Apple, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Stay tuned for more. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we'll see you soon. And roll
Tide.